Hi, it's Debbie with D.Ann's Designs. I'm coming on here to quickly try to give you a tutorial on this latest journal. It is a design team project for crafting on a budget. It's involving Frank Garcia's uh, craft book. It has 6 chipboard pages inside of it. They have been covered with Stamperia's Old Lace is the product name, and this is what it's going to kind of look like. This is the Stamperia. This is it's a piece of leather that's out of my stash that I thought went along quite nicely with it. And this is the back of the book with the Stamperia's paper. This journal is going to be more or less a story that I prepared for myself when I was making the journal. This is probably why it expanded so big. But I decided that this needed to be a lace buyer, and it needed to be female, and she needed to be in the late 20s to early 1930s, and we needed to have a location place for her, which would have ended up being Paris, so she needed to go find sample laces to bring back to her boss, whoever that may be. This is a piece of lace out of my stash. So I'm going to open up the journey book now, and I left it very plain and very simple on the front. Um, I chose to do that because I felt like if it was on a journey, you probably didn't want a whole bunch going on with it. However, I did leave this embellishment, which is out of Crafting on a Budget store, and we've also installed a little, it's kind of a cream colored pearl to the top of it. I've also put some gold tones onto this so that it kind of blended a little bit better for me anyway on this particular cover. And this is a piece of trim that I decided to run down in between the leather and the paper product. We open it up inside. We're going to have an envelope that I decided to install in here. This is a piece of crochet doily out of my trim. This is out of Crafting on the Budget. Also the lace that I had out of my stash. And you open it up, you can house about anything, letters, or in this case I just put a little ephemera in there, a little tag. And so this is going to be the paper that I use for the inside book cover. Okay, so then we go into the first chipboard piece that is inside of the book. I installed this page into it. I also put a piece of cut at an angle paper from the collection kit. And we also still have a piece of ephemera from Crafting on a Budget. This is also what I would install in here. This was gifted to me. It's a nice little envelope. Just loved it. I thought it looked really well in here. You can put things inside of it, which I have not. And I also wrote out my own little letter from her um, to be handed off to and mailed to her husband. And this is a picture of her husband that I've installed in there too. Making it up as I go, folks. So here we go. Put that back in here. We're going to clip this back onto the clip so I don't lose it. You're going to find that these have, in my journal, we're going to have a lot of small little, it's more like a sewing type of notion. Like this is a button. And this is a little sewing machine, and scissors, spool of thread. These are just little silver trinkets that I felt were were good for the journal since it was related to sewing as is lace. So that's what you'll find as I'm flipping through here. I'm trying not to take too much of your time. I just wanted to explain it as I went. And these are little stickers that I have that I installed in here also on the page. Let's see if we can bring that camera down so I don't work so hard. And we have that in here. Now we have another blank page. Okay, in between each of these chipboard pieces, I went with 5 sheets of coffee dyed paper, and I cut them to fit. So that means that front and back, you're going to have 10 sheets in between these sections. And I installed 4 of these signatures. So we have 10, 20 of those, I suppose, lining up in through here. Anyway, this is a double folded pocket. Yvonne Preston was showing us one day in her tutorial, and I appreciated Yvonne. I decided to push it in here into mine, and they're very simple to make, and all you have to do is either watch Yvonne or tell me to do a video, because they are fun and they're very useful inside your journal. I think you may like them. This is a clip of paper that's out from the paper pad stamping, sewing machine, tailor, things of that nature, and a little piece of material that I had, old lace. This is going to be a little card that we made to stick inside of this little page. You can write into. We put it into here. As I folded the page over, you just flip it back up, and you can use it as writing, and another sticker that I put inside of here. Okay, out of hurry here. And then we have some more pages that I put together here, and we have, this is a stamp I use. This is called the Ghost Imaging. So you barely have it with the ink, and then you press it as you need it right across there. This is also out of the paper pad. That looks like a little stamp. I thought it was adorable, so I cut it out and put it in there. This was gifted to me, and it is a very hard chipboard piece of, and she just did a beautiful job of an old picture of man and the woman, and I thought it went wonderful in here with this particular old lace. And then we have more pages. Some will have stamps on it. Some is going to have a little lace on it. And then we're going to go through here from the chipboard. And I have a little pocket that's tucked down into here. And a little lace to the top. And this is old lace. It's my favorite page. And we did a little lace trim onto that. We have another little lace trim onto this one here. It's I folded this one up. We made a pocket inside of here with a little butterfly that's been cut out. And it was also in the Stamperia collection. You can flip it up, and then you're going to have also some more writing room into here. Okay, I'm going down to this little journey. And honestly, I'm not trying to skip anything. I'm just trying to hurry it up so we don't have such a long video. But it's just a lot of writing room is what you're going to have in this journal. In here, we did another paper strip that I had, Martha Stewart punch on the sides, and then pearls down the center. And this came in the packet, so all I had to do really was just kind of cut it out like this. And it's an envelope, as you can see, and it opens up. I didn't want to secure it down. I wanted to keep it as it is because it has journaling room into it. It has a beautiful back on it. I just could not just cut it up. So, and or stick it down on anything. So that's what I did. And then I place it back inside of the belly band as such. So now it is pretty well secure off into there. Okay. And then we have also got these little things that pop out. So you can do a picture onto here, and you can also do journaling on the back. Yeah. You can see you can do journaling on the back of it. I installed a craft card onto there. It's got a little pair of scissors hanging off of it, and you just pop it back into your section. Oh my goodness me. Like so. Please don't go crooked. Here we go. Then we're going to have a pocket on the opposite side. It flips up. You have another belly band. I just put a postcard into there. And this, again, can hold ephemera or whatever it is that you may want it to hold. As you can see, so I've placed inside of here. And we have more ephemera onto here. And little tags into place out here. Get that undone. There we go. And we have more papers for it to write on. And then I have this little picture here that I chose. This is actually a print off of the Stamperia paper pad. I've cut out the center of it. I put this image into it. See if we can get it in it where you can see it anyway. And then I had a piece of like a vellum on here that see-through, but it's harder, so it protects the picture. And this is also out from the paper pack is the label itself. I just simply cut "Life is Beautiful" out. These are Amity Bloom words here. I've added some just just a snippet of lace, which I had in my snippet boxes, and these are old buttons. I just simply put some thread into them and glued them onto the top. And this is out from Crafting on a Budget, and put it on here to the side. Excuse me, my allergens are really funny today. Just having a great time with me. And then I put a piece of lace over here. This is a little thimble off to that side. And then we have this little uh, board page too. And we have some more little tags that I've stuck down in here as I made a pocket to put those into. And now we have some more coffee dyed pages for us to journal on. And we will have this pretty corset right here off of the Stamperia paper pad. And we just simply put a little piece of cardstock out from there and popped it in as a tag. And then we have a little gold trim that I put on top of a piece of lace. Okay. That's all of that. Okay. And then I have more writing room because we didn't have enough. And then this page here, I want to explain this page. When you're cutting out a 10-page pad and you have you have 6 front and back, and then you have the insides and you have the outside of the book cover itself. I ran out of paper. The reason I ran out is because this particular paper was not, it had to be cut a certain way. And when where is that page at? When I was doing this one here, I really wanted this whole thing showing. Well, when I cut it that way, it ends up being cut wrong. So you're not going to have quite enough paper, and I probably did it on another one too. But I ended that with needing more paper. To not go into a panic, if you ever get into that situation, it is not a big deal. You simply take your scraps and you start decoupaging on all your sections. And this comes out very pretty. I took a very fine, small piece of lace, came down some of the seam borders with it. It's perfect. It looks like it just should go there, and that's all you really have got to do. We have another photo pad here that we can put in and write on in the back. Fix that one a little bit. It got snagged, and I did, I think, 3 of these, maybe 4 through the book. And then over here I'm going to have pages that I just decided she would probably have with her, that she's collected through her time in Paris, like her receipts and people's names, business names, that she would need to use and bring back to her place of employment, so that, they just, and these I got them off of Pinterest, and simply I printed them out on some colored coffee dyed cardstock, and it's just aged, just so pretty, and it's just something that I felt she would have in her journal to go with her on her journey, and things that she would have collected. So that ends my journal. And I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. And if you have any questions on it, please go ahead and ask away. And tie it back up again. And this produces her journeys, which I think are so awesome that a woman got to do it in my world. My woman would do it because she knows laces and has such a supporting husband. That also goes along with it. So there we go. This is my journey book, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your time. If you could, please leave me a thumbs up if you did like it, and but if not, that's fine. Thank you for coming and viewing it with us all. Thank you so much for everything. Bye now.